Hey, hi, and hello. I'm Troy the Art Boy, and today I'm going to be designing yet another unconfirmed experiment from Lilo and Stitch, the series. So, quick bit of backstory for the uninitiated. A year, maybe 2 years ago, I was commissioned by my now friend over on Instagram. Their account's name is Lilo's Library to design each and every unconfirmed Lilo and Stitch experiment. So, that's what I've been doing. It's been a lot of fun, and I've come up with a lot of designs that I really like, and so many that I'm so excited to show you guys that are coming up. Some sooner than later, and others later than sooner. But in dear time, they are on their way. So, with that being said, there aren't really a lot of rules for these experiments. I kind of have free reign to do whatever I want, so long as it makes sense for the name. Which, speaking of which, for the names, at the end of Lilo and Stitch the movie, during the end credits, there is a list of every experiment's name along with their corresponding number. I defer to that list to come up with the names and then later the designs for these experiments. And there is, I guess, one more rule. There's a list of how Jumba's creations are all organized. I'm going to put those on the screen now if anyone wants to check them out. It's based on their number. Basically, the first 100 experiments are categorized as being household helpers. What all that exactly entails is sort of up for interpretation. But, yeah. So, with that out of the way, let's get to today's cousin, number 035, Phillips. Story time. Back in my early 20s, I used to work at a hardware store in the electrical department. The job itself was the absolute worst, and I hated every single second of it. Me hating it has nothing to do with the design itself, but I felt compelled to share. Anyways, the important part of that story is just that I worked in the electrical department, and while doing so, I needed to stack and sort thousands and thousands of light bulbs. The Philips brand light bulbs made sort of the bulk of my inventory. So, still to this day, when I hear the word Philips, my mind immediately springs to lights. So, that would be 035's function. They'd be a living spotlight or flashlight. I wanted him to be small, small enough to fit comfortably in one of Jumba's hands, but I guess I should probably take a step back here. In order to more fully understand Philips and their function, we first need to go back to experiment number 019, Clumsy. A bit of a self plug, but her design is super fun, and if you haven't seen it yet, you should consider checking out that video next. Basically, she was designed to be a living flashlight holder. Unfortunately, a series of mistakes during her creation process led Clumsy being rather top heavy and by extension off balanced. She wasn't all that good at holding a flashlight, unfortunately, and was deemed a failure. Don't worry, she ended up finding her one true place, but way back when she was first created and unable to carry out Jumba's intended function for her, she left a niche open. Jumba still needed a flashlight related cousin. Enter Phillips. I really love having continuity like that in any story. I think it just adds to the world building of it all and makes everything feel a bit more lived in. So I had two main design inspirations for Phillips: experiment number 609, Heat, and experiment number 383, Swirly. He is one of my absolute favorite experiment designs. The bulb thing on their head and the way the skin folds below it and above the nose are just so satisfying to look at. So, I wanted to add that for Phillips. Loosely, he's shaped like a light bulb, but for the actual light bulb parts on his head, I would split up into four sections and divide strips of it with skin. Phillips can light up any one of those sections or all of them at the same time. I will say they're much less combative than heat. Instead of projecting heat waves, Phillips just, well, glows. Although He doesn't glow nearly as brightly as Topper does. He's made for, I guess, recreational and residential usage. His eyes would be tiny. I figured it would make much sense for his eyes to be too big, considering they'd be exposed to bright lights pretty often. And I was originally going to give them a nose, but I don't really think the face needed it. With the big head and the bulbs, things kind of looked busy enough, at least to me. Before I forget, I guess I should probably talk about the swirly inspirations here. They were honestly just pretty surface level. I've always loved their color and their tiny stature, so I made sure to add that here as well. I tried nailing down a signature pose for Phillips, which admittedly took a bit of brainstorming. I had his arms just sort of flop down by his sides, and then I had him waving, but ultimately it made his arms tucked behind his back. I think it makes him look more dignified, I guess. And I actually got the idea from my design for experiment number 023 Cyclo, my favorite design released so far. I really wish I could recommend you guys go over and watch that video, but the audio is absolutely rancid. For some reason, the audio from the drawing process didn't transfer over correctly, and for reasons truly unknown, you can hear the audio of my house while I'm drawing it, and every time I rewatch it, it hurts my heart a little bit. So check it out or don't check it out. I don't know. It still to this day makes me so mad because I wanted so badly for that video to be perfect. And by the time I realized it, it already been like 3, 4 weeks after I posted, and like I couldn't repost it. So I don't know. I don't know. Check it out. Don't check it out. I don't know. Anyways, Phillips has something of a mind of his own and often refuses to light things up unless he wants to, and sometimes will just keep lighting up if he feels like it. However, he can be bribed with a tuna and hazelnut sandwich on rye. And here he is. Phillips was activated on a dark and windy evening after the pod rolls off a palm frond and into a puddle of water. Our little friend here would debut in an episode named A Light in the Darkness, and the episode synopsis would be as follows. During an unforeseen windstorm and a town-wide blackout, an illuminating experiment proves rather useful as the Ohana and the local handyman try to wait out the storm. He would ultimately find his one true place at a local mechanic. He would be one of those I forget what it's called, but it's like those little lights you use when you're working on cars. I don't know. I can see it in my brain. I think it works great, especially given his small stature. And here is a picture of him at his one true place, waving his little sandwich at us. So before I let you guys go, so this is the part of the video where I tend to shout out other fan artists in this space. So I am so fortunate to have, I mean, it's a relatively small following, but a growing following and a pretty consistent fan base of people who have just given me so much love and support over the last couple of years. I really started in the space while drawing these fusions of Pokemon and Lilo and Stitch, and it sort of took off and really surprised me. And now I'm doing this project, and just it's been amazing. So I want to spread that same kindness and sort of awareness to other fan artists that I really enjoy. So if you've watched my other videos, you probably know where this is going. But there's an artist, their account's name is Sketch Lampoon over on DeviantArt. So, okay. So in the beginning of this video, I mentioned that I work with someone whose account's name is Lilo's Library to design all these experiments, right? Well, they used to work with Sketch Lampoon forever ago, but they never finished this project. So I'm gonna be looking at their work now, and yeah, here is what came up for experiment number 035 Philip. I really like it. It's crazy to me how it came up with such different interpretations for the exact same prompt. And initially, I actually was going to try and using this design for the lineup and just crediting them completely for it until I came up with the idea of the flashlight. And yeah, I know I really like it. It's at least to me completely unexpected, and there's not too many brown Lilo Stitch experiments, so whenever I see one, it always sort of stands out to me. So awesome job. 12 out of 10. If you guys enjoyed this video, or honestly, even if you didn't, please be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment. I read them all. I try to respond to all of them or just about all of them. And it really does help out my channel. I've been doing this. I keep saying that like I'm still new to this whole YouTube thing, which I guess I kind of am. It's been a couple months at this point, but I think what I mean to say is my channel is still really small, but it's growing, and I'm so appreciative to each and every one of you guys. You like I said, it's been so much fun posting and sharing my art with you guys, and having people actually care about what I post is just insane still to wrap my brain around. So, anyways, yeah, so please like and subscribe here. I started a Patreon. I have one follower over there, and I love and appreciate them. So thank you so much for that. I try to post a little bit early over there. I have a break from work coming up, and I plan on posting quite a few things over there during that break. So this might be a good time to go hop over and subscribe over there if you guys want to. Also at Troy the Art Boy, I have an Etsy where I sell stickers. For the most part, my stickers are of my Pokemon Lilo Stitch fusions, but I think I do have some experiments over there as well. Or you can always reach out and just message me about those. And yeah, follow me over on Instagram, also at Troy the Art Boy. And while you're over there, go follow my partner, Lilo's Library, on Instagram as well. There, they post not just our experiments, but the actual experiments as well, the confirmed ones, along with backstories and more information about each and every one of those experiments. So go check them out too. And again, thank you guys so much for watching, and you will see me in the next one. Bye.